Is it going to be? Is it
Uh,
usually an hour?
it's hour or less because the most bulk of the meeting is 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
And let's see. I think we started recording. Yes, we did. Thank you all for waiting. It is 6:01. Okay. It is June 22nd, 26. This is William Newing, product owner of Glenwood Wikispeed, aka Headquarters Shop. I am partaking as Scrum Master for this meeting and is being recorded. Alrighty. Set this around. Very good. I'm plugged in, and this is also our HighFive meeting. Let's see if we can set this up so we can stand. So it is sort of a stand-up. It is. Okay. What did we get through last week? A whole lot. We not only got the dash to work on the car number 7, we got it to actual function and read out. It was amazing. It was like having a child. I don't know. I would never know what having a child looks like, but it is similar to achieving that just excellent milestone. We did a check on what the volt system or the volt readouts would be to actually power up the Summit Racing Series red LED Speedo. It looks like that's going to be added next iteration. For now, currently, we're going to figure out how to make an extension of the wire so then we can have our Speedo in the front of the car right above the tack. Looks like there's probably the space for it. We picked up some more tools for the Bellevue College build. We're going through and checking through on the mugs. We've done that. Also worked through some of the t-shirt details today with Mayor Michael. We've done some ad hoc for the justices in terms of their property. What else? We started using Slack a bit more. I've been uploading our demos and I think StandUp also since our last to Slack so that we could share with the whole team in the team channel as well. It's been pretty good at blocks. Nothing I can foresee right now, other than we will definitely need a truck to take the trailer and car into Bellevue College build, which I don't foresee as a block yet. We may want a new banner for the Bellevue College build because the one that Eli and I checked, it's huge. It's probably 20 feet long, and it's actually branded with a different company as well. It's probably done in previous. It's like probably 5 foot by 10 foot. It's really, really big. It's heavy. It weighs in probably a good 50 pounds for that banner. I checked with Costco actually today. They have, I think, a $28.99 banner for a 2 feet by 7 or 2 feet by 5 feet banner. It's like a small size one where we can hang it right above a little up and up or canopy. Is probably what we'll have. So we'll see if there's any graphics, and we'll work through that during non-shop time. And that concludes it for me. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So this week, well, actually, what's been happening since I talked to you last is I've been working on the t-shirts. We're having roughly 100 come in for this next week. Not coming in, I believe, in time. They said it would be in time. We're having some women's cut t-shirts this time also, and we'll have a new layout and logo. We're going to have enough so that we can give them away to the volunteers, and we can sell them as well. We're doing 2 colors this time, an orange and a gray, which look really, really good, and they're high quality. So looking forward to those. Blocking issue, I just need to know if we need to put a rush order on it in case we don't think we're going to get them on time. And I think William will let me know about that. Just to let you know, Derek is out of town. He's our contact in the marketing company, and so the sooner we get him that much info, and being that with the 4th of July weekend coming up, the better. Also, what else? Doing some stuff for Joe around, for his house and stuff, and that's been really time consuming, but going well. And trying to think what else. Oh, I may be able to unblock you banners and signs. I think we also have a big backdrop, like red carpet size backdrop. Let me see if I can find that from Joe right now. I'm texting with Joe, and that's all I've got.
Thank you, Mary Michael. And I didn't hear you in the beginning. Oh, I had to turn on my volume. Did you mention where you're from and your full name?
You are so good. Hi, I'm Mary Michael Justice. I am from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Who would like to go next?
This is Lauren. Lauren Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia. So this week I sent the email off. I did a little more tidying on the 501c and sent it to Joe, asking for the signature. And plus the, there's a couple of other things, but the main thing is the latest year, 2016, the asset balance, like 6 or 8 lines to that. It's short, but that's not in there. I wasn't able to get a hold of that. And I'm also I did a little more reading, made sure the form was up to date and what the fee was, which is unfortunately $850 because our gross receipts average over $10,000 over the last 5 years. So it's $850. But the good news is once you apply, I don't exactly know how this works, you can act as a charitable institution. You don't have to wait for them to decide. So you can, I guess you say something like pending charitable status, but you can accept donations to give receipts. And hopefully the receipt from the IRS would have some information on that. And there's a few other points I'm just doing right now. But anyways, I finally went ahead and did that. The coming week, probably not going to do too much because I did a big push to do that and put aside some personal and business things and everything. But actually, Wikispeed sort of important. It's on my resume, and it's like my current job on my resume, and so it's significant for me. So I'm glad it got done. And blocks, a bunch of other things I'm doing. I have some longer-term projects, but I don't know how much I'll do on them, which are the thing I talked about. I'm looking for some open-source compatible financial software that could, I'm thinking, allow kind of a real-time open financial status website with good security and the ability to cut part of it off. Say if you were about to buy a property, then you for things off, but in general, compatible with a very open kind of financial situation. And also, I'm interested in receipt, easy receipt recording from anywhere with any device. Easy receipt and payment recording. So that's one thing I'm interested in. I'm very interested. I did use version control, Git, all the way through, and that's how I uploaded the latest version. And I'm very interested in working with educating or helping people use Git to you avoid heart attacks and stress by using Git, by using version control in general. So that's it for me. Yeah, that's it for me.
Excellent, Lauren. Thank you very much. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. Why not?
Thank you, Bruce.
Out of
Step
my
right up.
usual order. Yeah, this week I worked on getting that Google API mapping stuff into the Trello board, which sounds like it was helpful. I also wrote a letter to the people at NISA who do the finite element analysis stuff for Geomagic. Haven't heard anything back from them. I wrote it in a spam file or something. I don't know if you have any recommendations about follow-ups with them if they don't respond after a couple of weeks, whether we have an alternative way of maybe contacting them or whatever. I might just give them a call. I don't have a number, but I can probably pick one up. And let's see. Oh, I did have one block on the Microfactory Q&A item that's in the verification column right now. I think it was William who posted the Tools and Supplies Manifesto document, and it's blank. I don't know whether it's supposed to be blank and you're filling it in, or whether it goofed during the transfer. So that's about it for me. I'm also spent the day at Scrum Inc. In Boston. I'm doing their product owner class, so finishing that up tomorrow. Get certified there. And yeah, that's it. Oh, Bruce Connor, Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Very good. Thank you, Bruce. And I could probably unblock you before the end of our stand-up, but I should probably do it during probably crosstalk or even retro. Who would like to go next? Michael, you look unmuted.
Am I unmuted? Sorry.
No, you're up.
Was I quiet?
You were quiet, so it's great. So I just picked on you because you were unmuted.
I haven't hit the mute button for a while. Okay, I got Michael Olchek from Saskatoon, Canada. We got a little bit of work done on the batteries from the Polaris EVs. There only seems to be the one that's completely dead and unrecoverable. All the rest of them seem to take a charge of some sort. I haven't been successful in getting the fourth one from work yet. They tell me it's closer, but it's not where it needs to be. I tried powering one of them up, and I found an interlock missing. I don't know which interlock, but it didn't power. I have some work to do there, and I did get a technical manual from the local Polaris dealer. He originally said that it was going to be 3 weeks to order it in, and then he went back to the shop, picked one up and said, I could let you have this one, and I could just order a new one. And it was like, okay, here we go. So I didn't have to wait 3 weeks. No progress on the Mazda, unfortunately, and blocks on the Mazda. I have a couple. I need to get a radiator hose, and I can't remember what the other one was. For next week, I'm going to the cabin this weekend, so I expect that I will be able to open up the CAD and do a little bit of work, especially now that I have the electric schematics out of the Polaris. I should be able to at least copy something that looks appropriate for the Mazda and update that. Hopefully, I can remember how to post that. I may be calling Lauren to figure out how to commit to the GitHub repository, and that should be about it for me. This time I'll mute.
Darn. Oh well. But thank you also very much, Michael. I just picked on your unmuted just because it was fun and easy, and you were right there. I could keep track of who's going next easier that way. All right, so down to the last two, the best, Stanley and Chris. Is it going to be Mortal Kombat? Which one of you would like to go first?
I can go.
Okay, Stanley. Thank you.
I am Stanley. I'm from well, right now I'm in Seattle. Um, Not much of a progress to report. I just take a look at the Google Maps tool that Bruce shared, and seems pretty straightforward. Maybe we can put that in the site with a couple instructions on how members can add themselves to the map instead of we manually setting locations for them. Yeah, but just that I've been recently really busy at work right now, and it doesn't look like it's going to get better in future weeks. So I may be off the radar for a while now. I'm just trying to do my best currently at my company, and yeah, so that's my update.
Thank you, Stanley. Appreciate the block and also the update. And Chris, I believe you're up.
All right, so this is Chris Wallace. I'm the product owner of the Burleson, Texas, USA Micro Factory. And I apologize if I'm really shiny right now. It is so humid out here. I feel like I'm sitting in a warm bowl of soup. So it's a very, very odd feeling. So last week, I'm pretty much in the last couple of sprints here, finding that I'm basically focusing on one spray at a time and working on getting that done, and that seems to be working fairly well. But so this week, I worked with a local homeschool family. They started. So most of that time was basically booting them up as a Scrum team, getting them access to the Burleson, Texas Trello board, kind of showing them how to set up cards and how to, estimate and demo the work and things like that. In fact, one thing I did not do that I do need to do is they sent some pictures of where they're at with it, but I need to share that with the larger Wikispeed. Basically focusing on one thing per sprint. Now, for next week, I am going to attempt to finish the table of contents for the Scrum Guide, the Esperanto Scrum Guide translation. The only blocks I have other than the humidity right now and massive onslaught of mosquitoes is my summer class has really been a time hog, and that's what's kind of slowed the velocity down, which is fine. There's 3 weeks left in it, so that's expected and can be planned around. And that wraps it up for me. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Chris. That concludes our stand-up, moves us along to our retro. And our retro is, please rate yourself 1 to 10 of how happy you are in your role. How happy you believe the team is in their, as the team, 1 to 10 also. And of course, if there is a process improvement, please to propose that if you do wish to share. Otherwise, you can abstain from having a process improvement. We'll try to attempt to continue our previous correspondence of a series of people of how they went, which I'll go first. I'm going to rate myself a 10. It was, I wouldn't say hectic, but no, it was pretty packed. Yeah, maybe even 9.5, but I think I might get scrutinized if I didn't give that 10. So occasionally I'm going to just give myself and dig in, like, all right, I'll do a 10. It was quite a lot, quite a bit this week. Definitely, I understand there's room for improvement. We're going to figure out what that is, maybe just a breather room, something. For the team, also a 10. Just tremendous amount of work. I mean, look at how many people we have on StandUp. It blows apart what our 15-minute stand-up is, because we're more than 5 people. I believe 7. So 10 also for the team. Tremendous. I love being part of this team. It is truly, I've said it before once, it's on recorded in our YouTube, is that this is an awesome tribe. I found this tribe. I love it. In our process improvement, I would love to aim for a recycling of the previous, which is to do a one-on-one HighFive, quote unquote, after the retro, which is a spin-off of what the makers I believe, center focus of the company, that it was owned by women and run by women, a group that did a hug meeting, or a debug meeting, but they do a hug meeting. Thank you, Lauren. Yes, that one. And I'm borrowing. Yeah, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So I figured, yes, we can borrow that and go from there. And that's what I'm going with. And I want to say, Mary Michael, I think you're next. Although you are on the phone, I think.
No, I'm with you.
Oh, okay. You're good. Oh, it's your mic. I see it now.
Yeah. I was having a hard time hearing everybody, so I put in an earbud. I give myself emotionally, I've been a little hard on myself, but when I look at what I've been able to accomplish, I'm pretty proud of that. And this has been a big week. A friend of the family passed, and we're getting ready to go to the funeral. So being able to kind of feel what I need to feel about that and still be productive is something I'm really proud of. So, yeah. And as for the team, I mean, you guys just rock and roll. I'm going to give you guys a good 9 just because I missed last week, so I don't know how awesome you are. So I'm guessing you're a 9. So that's I've got process improvement. Can't think of one right now.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you, Mary Michael. Lauren, I believe you're next. And those, if I'm not, please do feel free to correct me. I am human. It does happen. I do make those mistakes. And you're up.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to give myself an 8 because I finished the 501c. Not a 10 because I just looked in my files and it was July 2014 when I started on it. So it's been a long road. So it's not, yeah. So and
down that not a 10. When you were done, we totally have to celebrate.
Okay. I'll defer to that. Then, the team is a 10. I'm also amazed at how many people now are on these meetings. Because, we slogged through for a long time with often very few people. But Chris and me and Michael would go on and or whatever. And also the technically these stand-ups just go really well with people. I've pointed this out before. People are like muting and turning off their video and things so that other people have the bandwidth, and it's just without thinking. And then I'm going to go again with William on the process improvement. And that's it.
Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. And Bruce, I believe you are next.
Yes, I'm going to give myself a 9. I'm really pleased with what I got done this week. Could have done a little more, but had some real life things that kind of came in and impinged on that. But, overall, real solid. The team gets a 10. Absolutely great. I appreciate getting put on the info at Wikispeed email, so I can use that to represent us with companies like NISA, which really came in handy, and it helped me to just accomplish those things and get that stuff out of the way. And I just saw that William manifesto document for the tools and supplies, so that's great, and appreciate that. I don't think I have a process improvement. I liked seeing more Slack this week. I think that was good. I don't know if there's other cunning ways we can maybe use it, but who knows? We didn't have any impromptu meetings or anything like that, which just didn't happen. But maybe in the future, I think just keeping that going, because I like the asynchronous nature of it, so that we can kind of know that something's going on, but it's easy to banter back and forth real quick, but you can drop back off. And, so it's a little better than email, but it's less than a hangout. Yeah, good stuff. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Agreed. And yes, and for that Slack trying out, we'll take another sprint at it. Usually it takes about 2 sprints to really see some results and data as well. Moving forward, I believe, Michael, you are next.
I wasn't sure exactly what the order was. I'm going to give myself, I think it was a 6. Maybe it was a 7. I got a little bit more stuff done than last week, but nowhere near what I had scheduled to. And I'm going to stay with 9 for the team. I haven't even been able to keep up with William's demos and watching all the demos, and I'm very embarrassed that he can produce them faster than I can watch them. But perhaps it would be 10 if I was able to watch them all. I don't know. Process improvement, I'm going to defer to everyone else. I don't have one of my own. And that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Michael. And by no means, it's not a competition within ourselves. It's more of a how can we help each other and share of ourselves. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm hoping that I help you feel. And I'm going to go ahead and take that 7 that you give, even though you wrote 6 in your email, because I heard 7. So I'm gonna put that into our value. And the videos, I mean, they're there. I've been posted on Slack. They're there for people to whenever they have their leisure and time. And hopefully they're short enough. I didn't try to make them too long. I believe, Stanley, you are next.
So for me, giving myself a 2. Haven't progressed a lot lately during last spring. But I think the team is great, though. I think the team is a 10. And I don't have a process improvement of my own right now. So, yeah.
Thank you, Stanley. And yes, you made it. I would hope that your 2 means that you're pretty happy about it and not too discouraged at all. We always appreciate that you're showing up and helping us and being part of it. And that's okay with the process improvement. Chris, I believe you are next.
All right. I'm going to go with an 8 for my happiness in my role. Getting to, even though my velocity is slow, getting to work with start up a local Scrum team around the project was really nice. A 10 for the team. Again, so many people on the call. Getting to see on all these different fronts, people increasing their velocity and getting stories done is just awesome. As far as the process improvement, the only thing I had is actually related to Trello and getting reference stories into Trello on the various boards. Just because that's something I always have trouble with is estimating really without reference stories. If it's, for certain realms, whether it be working on the website or being in the shop, having some sort of a story to reference what we're trying to estimate. And that wraps it up for me.
Fantastic. And that wraps up our stand-up and retro. And surprisingly, less than 30 minutes. Lauren, yes. Did we forget one?
No, I thought of one, and I wanted to kind of register it. It's along the same line as you. It's stealing from the same company.
Borrow.
So again, Adafruit, and I just sent out a link to. They just posted this article this week, and I sent out a link to it, and I highly recommend it. The other thing they have is they have 3 regular YouTube shows, and they do apparently provide a lot of good video support and everything, but rather than like classifying them or whatever, I watched a few of them, and it's very cool because basically they're working on something. They just put the camera on and start talking about it. And it's like you get an idea of how live and how interesting it is. And it's usually 2 of them. And the other thing is that Bruce's voice is so sonorous, and he's got the microphone there, and it just looks like a YouTube show anyway. So that's that. I'm going to put that up as another idea to steal from the same place for process improvement.
I see. So let me see if I can summarize that. Your process improvement proposition is that we have a a live broadcast, a live YouTube or Facebook broadcast of perhaps our demo or stand-up. Is that what you're suggesting?
Right. It's if you look at the ones they have, it's just that the kind of the way they osmose or spread their information, they often do it with a live thing. That's just what they're working on right now, and some of the explaining some of the things about it. So I don't know if we've got enough people. If you had 2 or 3 people, could we do it like once a month maybe, or whatever, but at a regular time? That's the idea. It's got a little bit of an immediacy to it.
What if it weren't even regular and scheduled? What if it just were when 2 or 3 people were gathered?
Yeah, right. That would work, and that would, enough. Then it would start to get people. If and actually, people are posting demos, pretty interesting demos all the time. So, but give it a name and this week from Wikispeed or something like that. And away you go.
Wikispeed Live.
Yes, it sounds like it's sounding like the details are coming together. A Wikispeed Live or Team Wikispeed Live event, either put on monthly or quarterly. Let's say let's try it. Yeah, I don't think it has to be a process improvement. It could be a distributed team backlog item, and then we could see if we can try it, because it sounds like it's going to require more than a couple of epics to actually make it work and happen, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with that. I think, yeah.
Or perhaps I'm just saying, let's go with both process improvements, if we want to call it that way. Do a one-on-one high five after the retro, and also integrate that Lauren's suggestion of the Team Wikispeed Live event as a monthly thing. And I think there's a couple of instances where we could try it, which, if it does work, we would love to have something happen at the WXPO Wikispeed Expo come this fall. That'll be something. And with that, I believe then our unanimous is that our unanimous process improvement is we're gonna do one-on-one high fives. So the details is that if anyone wants to or could provide appreciation for another individual, whether they're in the team or whether they're outside of the team, that provided some type of enormous amount of work or effort, or just something that really could be appreciated, that it was just above and beyond, right? And this week, I would like to propose to Bruce. Bruce has been with us for a little while now, and he came kind of like a storm. It was just amazing to see him be part of this group, just very seamlessly melded in, and wanted to know more, wanted to onboard himself and help us gain and put together a more formalized FAQ. He also was really cognizant about branding, and also how he should proceed, and would it step on anybody's toes. He's very empathetic about that, and I really appreciated that. And so I had the similar experience where someone really kind of took me under the wing, was really appreciative about the work I've been putting into Wikispeed, and also they were helping me offline to encourage me in some of the blocks that I've had, or even mental or psychological ones. So I'm paying it forward and saying, you know what, kudos, Bruce, thanks very much. We appreciate you, and we love you for being here. So.
Thanks. Well, it's you guys have made it really easy. So give yourself a pat on the back for that too. I'd like to thank Joe Justice for having spontaneously invited me to come to Scrum Inc. and ask to do a co-train with him. It didn't quite work out the way we'd originally intended, but it was, about 12 hours notice. So, but it has helped me down a certain path that I was kind of being a little hesitant with, and I think, it's going to serve Wikispeed pretty well. And since I've got the microphones on, I might as well thank Chris for getting the email. I know his schedule is really tight these days, so much appreciated that you took the time to do that. I'm glad it went well.
Fantastic. I believe that concludes our retro as well. That moves us on to crosstalk. I thought I had something, but apparently I cannot remember right now, and that's okay. Does anyone have anything they want to bring up for crosstalk?
Can I go super fast because I need to dash? I would love to know if you need any more information before you let me know if we should rush order the t-shirts or if you think they'll get here in time.
So for the t-shirts, mainly what we need to know is what their sizes equate to in terms of measurements.
Okay.
I had sent an email reply with an attachment. I think I borrowed from the North Face. They had their own, small, medium, large. This is what the measurements of what individual shirts will look like. I couldn't find something. Was that the right site that I linked to for what is it? Gamelight.
So Gamelight is a marketing team that's actually been with us since we were in Detroit. So almost the beginning, and volunteer their work with us. I think we actually paid for the product, but all the design work, the label, all that they just did, which is amazing. We can reach out to them too for the signage that you want. I'm sure that they have things that are big enough, and then we can just take them to whatever printer you want. So the sizing, like the number of each size, have already been ordered. What each size corresponds to, I'm not sure about. My question for you is, does the sizing chart affect whether or not we rush order?
Yes and no. So the sizing chart, if we can get a sizing chart, understand what sizes that we have that are coming in that'll fit what we think the people are going to be showing up, then we know whether or not we need to order more shirts or less shirts for the next either. If we don't,
we're ordering 100 in this order.
Right.
So I think we'll have enough, don't you?
I hope so, and I hope it will fit the folks.
His specialty is actually college branding. Most of his clients are colleges.
Okay.
And so I just asked him, what is a typical size range usage? And he told me, and since we had extra men's smalls, I just transferred some of those into larger sizes. I know we have some adults who show up for training who are in the larger size range. Like I said, it's 100 shirts. A third of them are for women. We've got 2 different color choices. I mean, unless you think attendance is going to be huge, in which case we can double the order.
I know that we have 20 limit on the volunteers that are building, so
Right.
At least 20. A fifth of that is going to be spoken for. I'm not sure if we're going to sell out of the rest. I say, what is it? They're about a week or 10 days turnaround.
Yeah.
If there is, like, if we run out, I don't see it as a bad thing. Let's go with that, because it means, great, we need to order then twice as much for builds and also extra to something to hang on to, because I think we all have small shirts.
Orders, have them pay, and we can take advance orders.
Right. Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yes, like running out is good. I mean, having that high demand. So let's go with that. That we don't need a rush order on it, and that, let's see, if it's a 3 to 5 day turnaround after what, July? Did you say July 3rd is when they're going to print?
July 3rd, yeah, and there's the 4th of July in there as well.
Yeah. So no weekends then, I assume. So that means let's see, July 3rd, print.
What is our drop dead habit to Wikispeed date, or would you rather have it shipped to your house? I mean, I put in Wikispeed's address.
That's
'cause I
perfect.
figured you guys were figuring things out.
Yeah, that's perfect. That way everything gets to the same place. We're doing the build 18th and 19th. So
Okay.
getting it there, let's see, likely what, Monday or Tuesday, 10th to 11th
Yeah.
is
That'd be
what I'm thinking and expecting. So
Yeah.
if that's the case, then yeah, we'll be okay. If we turn around and think like, you know what, there's a lot of demand after I speak with Michael Reese, and there's like overload, and they're wanting probably a different set. Whatever that feedback may be, then we may even put in for another order and maybe do a rush on that if we think we'll need more. Because if that's the case, then yeah, let's go ahead and at that point then order more, because then we can actually sell more T-shirts, and
Right.
so those then selling, we wouldn't probably be taxed on that, because by then I'm sure we're gonna already have put our application in. So then whatever money we get would be our donations.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I will do this as soon as I get off the phone. He has information on pricing, like what's typical on the college campus. So I'll ask him what are they willing to pay, and I'll get that to you. What was it? Oh, finally, we have a big banner. I want to say it's like a 10 by 12 backdrop for things like press and things like that.
It's huge. It's so heavy.
So why don't we hang that behind the tent, or hang that as a backdrop on the wall?
I don't know what it'll hang off of.
Won't it hang off the poles?
I don't think we have any poles tall enough.
It's okay if it puddles on the ground. Just roll it up and fold it under.
True, but it's also like really huge and heavy. So I don't know if any of the hanging structure, if they're PVC, if they'll hold.
Usually the hanging structures are metal from most rental places.
This is something what the
So yeah,
students
have a
have.
good night. Nice seeing you, guys.
Take care, Stanley. See you. Thank you. I don't know what Bellevue College is using, and so we could bring it and we can hang it. And if we don't have the right equipment to hang it, then we'll have to work out something else. So I was hoping to work out something else in case of that worst case scenario.
So I'd love to make sure that you guys have signage for the front of the tent structure. But my guess is, I mean, the tent structure is made to hold something like that. And this was designed to be on that kind of rental structure, even though it's huge. So if we could use that as the backdrop to it, the back wall, I think that would be great for branding, shade,
It has
flame resistance, all of that.
It has another company's logo and print on it.
Which one?
I don't remember. It starts, I think, with a C, but it's the gray one. I think it's the one that you were talking about, right?
Yeah, it's that gray beige one.
Yeah. Beige? I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
It should be great. As long as Wikispeed is promoted as prominently or more prominently, go for it.
It is. I mean, they're both. We have our Wikispeed Shield sign on there, so they both work. But the main thing is the front sign. So I figure if it's something similar to what our bumper stickers look like, that might be a good rendition or similar, so that we can even hand off or sell bumper stickers too, and I'd be like, yeah, that's us, kind of recycling more of that branding, or not repurposing, reestablishing that branding more.
Okay.
Is there any chance of hats?
Ooh.
It's a great idea. We should think about that for the second iteration. What do you think, Mary Michael?
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be great for the next iteration.
Yeah, some caps, and even maybe some of the other style, like the tennis style ones, or golf ones.
Okay.
Just because we do fit 6 golf clubs into our Wikispeed cards, as we say on our site.
Golf bags.
Golf bags,
not
sorry.
Golf clubs. Golf
Golf bags, yeah, very, very different. Very, very different.
Okay, so what I'll do is on the email thread that you're already copied on, I'll switch or I'll create a new one about the signage. And you can let him know what size you need. I've mentioned to him before that we don't seem to have really large, extensible files for our signage. And so hopefully he'll either draw something up really quick or send it to us already. Okay? And so we're good on t-shirts, we're good on that. Does anybody have anything else for me? Okay, then I'm gonna dash, guys. Thank you so much. You're so incredibly awesome.
Thank you, Mary Mike. Bruce, you had something, or I saw you unmute or unmute.
Something real quick. One, I wanted to expound a little bit on what William was saying for the high five to Bruce. Since you've joined the team, Bruce, I think that where the value has really come is that you've asked very pertinent questions that allowed us to kind of gel our ideas around what onboarding someone to the team is and what the important information is. A lot of times when someone new comes onto the team, they may hit the email form and say, how can I help? And that sometimes is the end of the interaction because somebody will say, well, here's our backlog and here's this, but definitely again, you asking pertinent questions allows us to try to build something around making it an easier process on board. So that's been really awesome.
Well, for once, my being a pest has come in handy. It's the Scrum Master in me,
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, I wanted to address Lauren real quickly. First, you were saying, it's taking you since 2014 to get to this point in the federal nonprofit status. That is still faster than any previous attempt that we've made. I'm trying to, as of right now, the fastest it's ever happened. So you set the benchmark there, which is awesome. I also wanted to ask you, Lauren, are you using a command line tool for your Git check-ins on the source code?
I'm just sending you to Michael and copy to you my command line stuff. I'm using the GitHub program, but I don't use it. I just go straight to the shell. But it sets you up a nice shell.
Okay, awesome.
And I have Tortoise Git for Windows. It's a good way to learn version control, but I'm not into it enough yet to help people with it. So that's kind of one of my next tasks.
Awesome. I may have some questions I may email you now and again. I'm just working on a project that's using Git, and there's some, I'm having to familiarize myself with some of the ins and outs of branching and things like that. So I may have a few questions now and again.
I have the only way I could help you with that is I've got a book on Git that looked pretty good on O'Reilly Safari, and I'll send you the reference. It's just an O'Reilly book. Safari's I'll send you the reference to the book. I liked it because it was kind of it seemed to be a bit of a person who's passionate about it, but also a little bit skeptical about or realistic about how people use it and how they learn it.
Right, and that's the process I'm in right now is maybe the best practices of when to create branches, what to check out, what to check in, how to get reviews done, things like that. So, yeah, cool. I'm glad that you've actually forged ahead on that so that we have somebody on the team that knows what's going on.
Very good. Very good. There we go. I'll mute myself while I talk. There was so many things going on. Sorry. Very good. Does anyone have anything else?
I have one more thing for you, William.
Oh.
Last time I was in the shop in February. I tried to take pictures of everything in the shop, and my camera was on my phone was lagging at times. So some pictures I tried to take, I did not get. So there's some marketing material and things like that that were neat. But the most important one to me that I did not get a picture of are the reference stories on the Linwood shop board. On the right-hand side, you'll have some. I tried to take a picture of it, and I just didn't get it. Next time you're in the shop, do you mind just taking a picture of that and sharing it? Maybe Slack may be a perfect place for that. And then I can take that from there. And I'll probably use, I think they're generic enough what you are doing that I can in the Burleson shop, just reference stories.
Absolutely. I'll take a photo of them for future reference also, so you're not waiting on me, which I'll actually do it tonight. They're in our Wikispeed data tracking sheet.
Awesome.
Okay,
I know where that is.
Great. They're in the L column. It's blue. Anybody else hear me? Okay. Okay, everybody else is muted. That's why. Got it. Perfect. Well, fantastic, and thank you all. I believe we updated our velocity and points, and I will do the team count as well as the. No, we already have that. I'll type in the improvement experiment pretty soon here, and also the distributed team Wikispeed. I'll put on the main backlog for a team Wikispeed live event for seems like what is it that we're working on in a Q&A event. It'll likely be something that we'll need to break out into smaller pieces in terms of what that sounds like, and I'll put everybody's name that were actually here in the stand-up associated with that. If you want to be taken off, feel free to just take yourself off. Okay? Any questions? All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We've all been just fantastic, and this is tremendous. I will talk to you all next week, and if there's anything else in between, find us on Slack. If not, we'll do an ad hoc meeting.
All right. Night, everybody.
Good night.
Everybody.